Happy Monday, Sooner Nation. Welcome to the Sooner Surge. It is fall camp week in Oklahoma. College football is just around the corner. The Maxwell preseason watch list is out. Everyone in there, whoever's on that list. So I think the SEC had 15 players on that list. ACC, I think, had 20. But it's out there, and Jackson Arnold's on it. And then I know, Jay, you mentioned the top 10 players of all time list came out.
No, not the top. It was top 10 since 2000.
I was just saying since 2000.
What about it? I mean, that was on 3 today. Put that list out. I bet they had Baker Mayfield number 2. I thought that was interesting. Do you think he's a top 2 player since 2000?
Top 2? I think he's a top 10.
I mean, he had a great college career, dude.
Yeah. It was per ESPN.
Yeah, on 3 tweeted it out, though, is where I saw it.
And viewers, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what Jay and Hunter think. Because I can. Listen, I want everyone in the chat to be honest with yourself. Take off your crimson-colored glasses, as they told me that I did. But they said if you go back to 1995, from 1995 to 2025, let's just say, which is right around the corner, they said Ricky Williams is a top 10 college football player.
I think he is.
What?
Ricky Williams was a really good running back, Jeremy. I don't know why you don't think that. I mean,
top 10? Jamal Charles was better.
Oh, Jeremy, come on.
Facts.
I want you to name 5 running backs better than him since 2000 or since 95.
Saquon Barkley, Adrian Peterson.
Wait, Saquon Barkley better than Ricky Williams, career-wise?
Absolutely in college.
I disagree, man. I disagree. I'm sorry. I disagree.
Ezekiel Elliott. You don't think Zeke was better, Jay? Reggie Bush. I mean, there's 4, and I haven't even started talking about other conferences.
Bush is on the list, in my opinion, yes.
I'm sorry. That's a bad take, Jay.
Okay, you can have your opinion. I don't care. It doesn't bother me.
I can name plenty. I can probably name 10 more better than him.
He only won 2 Doak Walkers. I mean, how many did Jamal Charles win, Hunter? Will you look that up real quick? Oh, wait, you don't need to look it up. 0. Okay.
I don't care what's your opinion, Jay.
I guess Doak Walkers don't mean anything to you.
I don't think Ricky Williams is a top 10 college football player in the last 20 years.
Okay.
Yeah, Cam Newton in college was elite. I agree.
Yeah, and it was before some people's time on here. I get it. We'll move on. 2 more days till practice. Can't wait. I
saw Garen Hatchett had a tweet today. People just getting excited about fall camp, Jay.
Yeah, why wouldn't you be? I mean, it's here. TU open practice today.
Players are ready to hit fall camp, get after it with other players. Monty, school has already begun for me because I'm the administration side of things now. So I actually started 2 weeks ago, but our school officially starts August 15th, I believe. The day before we announced the OU Houston game ticket giveaway.
That's right. Be here before you know it. So it's very hot now. Heated back up. I think it's going to be Wednesday, looking like it's going to be close to 100 degrees, I think. So
back at it. Were you shocked Jackson Arnold's on the preseason Maxwell watch list?
No, like you said earlier, they put pretty much anybody that has some what do we say the word is? Upside to them, they're going to be on that. So John says, I'm actually in Norman for training and looking forward to the event on Saturday. Yeah, I wonder how many people on here are going to that event on Saturday. I'd be interested.
Hey, Sooner fan, the hardest decision I've ever had to make in my life. I've been in the classroom 20 years, coached for 18 of the 20 years. My son is going to be a freshman, would have been on my varsity track team. Hard decision, but I feel like this is what's best. But it was difficult, man. Difficult.
I'm trying to find this.
Chester, back in the day, everyone started after Labor Day. It's kind of the thing. Start after Labor Day. Jay, the more I see of Danny Okoye posting, the more I think he's got to get in the rotation.
I haven't seen him posting, so I don't know what to say. But listen,
Jay,
people can look great. I got to see it on the field. I think he will be good.
And here's what I want to say, and I think all the Surgeaholics would agree with me here. Guys like Boganowski, Reggie Powers, Okoye, I can think of some other ones in the secondary. Those guys, they should all be on special teams #1 squad. Get those guys going downfield on special teams.
They'll get some run on special teams. I would think so. I mean, I think that's if they're going to play much this year, I think that's where it'll be. I mean, I don't see guys like Boganowski and Powers, just with the depth they have, getting a whole lot of playing time on the back end, except in maybe blowouts.
Ooh, that is a okay, guys. Yeah, I'm not teaching and coaching anymore. I'm going to the administrator side of things as an assistant principal. It was a very difficult decision for me as my son is coming up to be a varsity track. But hey, I can still coach him, or I can just be dad, and that's fine. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that. But I appreciate all the comments and questions. I don't know, Scott. I think that's a hot take, Scott, to say he's the best D-line. But
here, my question to be Scott, thanks for joining tonight. My question to you would be, and everybody on here would be this: are you saying will be the best defensive lineman from last signing class this year? Or are you saying career-wise? Because I think when he's done at OU, I possibly so. I mean, I think he's got so much upside, and he's so talented. He's so athletic. I think the sky's the limit. But that class is so good. The 2024 power line is so good.
Jay, there's a guy that no one's talking about.
Who's that?
Absolutely no one's talking about.
Woolard?
Nigel Smith.
Nigel Smith, yeah.
I mean,
best prospect from the 24 class. Yeah, hey, he's so talented. We've all seen him play. He's really good. I hope he gets to play quite a bit this year. I think that would be outstanding. And I mean, you look at all his work ethic. I mean, he seems like he's come in with an attitude of hard work, kind of humble dude. I look for him to just freaking explode over the next few years. I was just about to ask Scott when he said the best prospect from y'all's class, who he's a fan of, and he answers right here. Vol fan. Hey. I want to say Chief T-Bird. Ronell Lewis is a great comparison, honestly. Yeah, and Vol fan in here. A lot of people say Tennessee's got the best defensive line in the SEC this year. A lot of people, including SEC Mike.
And that's why Tennessee at OU, Jay, is a massive game for OU's offensive line.
Is it a make or break your season type game for Oklahoma?
I think it's going to tell everyone for OU where their line really is. I don't think Tennessee's secondary is elite. So if they have time to throw, I think OU can torch them maybe on the back end. But
Colin's ready for sports. So I have an internship in data analytics. Oh, wow. That's awesome. Hey, I saw that the Thunder are going to Tulsa to play a game, but they're not even playing another NBA team. What's up with that?
Yeah, I saw that.
What's up with that?
I don't get it.
That's awesome, Colin. Congrats, bro.
Hey, I'm going to I was going to go back to Jackson, who said Jeremiah Newcomb may be the one that people are sleeping on the most. And that could be, Jay.
The other one could be the other cornerback from Union. Devin
Jordan. Yeah, he's Taylor Wine.
That's a good name too, Bobby.
He is up in weight. Man, they are. If they don't play 6 guys on the edge, I'm going to be highly disappointed.
Yeah, Taylor Wine is he's very underrated.
You know who?
So I could see that.
Do you know who else Danny Okoye reminds me of? I'm going to give everyone. I'm going to do a trivia early right now, Jay.
Is it from OU?
Yeah, I'm going to give everyone a trivia early. Okay. Again, these trivia points. You can get your name on the wheel so you can be in the drawing for the OU Houston Game 2 ticket giveaways. I'm going to give it a chance here to get one early. Last night you had Matt and Bobby, I think, that were the answers last night.
This may be the trivia for tonight. This may be it right here.
I got one.
All right.
Former OU linebacker that I think reminds me a lot of Danny Okoye. Went on to play in the league. One of the best athletes, wore number 36. Who am I talking about?
I know who you're talking about.
Do you?
Yeah.
Believe he went on to play for the Raiders. You like
One
that?
of the Surgeaholics will know this.
Do you like this comparison, Jay?
You kind of already gave it away. But
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
Not Obo. Not Murphy. Or Murray.
Can I tell him the years?
I'm going to give it to Mark. It's not Traction. It's Travion Smith. That's right, Mark. It was probably a typo. Travion Smith. Mark gets, there it is. Mark gets the point and will get his name on the wheel so he can be eligible for the OU Houston tickets. Thanks, courtesy of FanStop. Check them out at thefanstop.com. Great, great products. You should get on there and get on the Shirt of the Month Club. Courtesy of FanStop ticket giveaway.
I see the comparison, but, I mean, he's an end. I mean, Okoye's a true end. So,
look at their size. They're probably almost identical.
I mean, similar. I mean, he also had 20 pounds worth of pads on at that time with John Blake's years. He had the big shoulder pads on him.
Travion Smith was a freak athlete.
Oh, yeah, he was really good. Hey, real quick reminder to everybody. Thursday night, we already got it set. It's set. You're going to have to join earlier. We're going on at 9 o'clock. We're going to go longer. We'll probably go. I don't know how long we'll go Thursday night. We'll go for a while probably. But we have a special guest joining the first part of that show that you will not want to miss. It's going to be NIL talk, NIL explanation, all of it. If you have questions about
settlement,
NIL, if you have questions about revenue sharing, if you have questions about portal, whatever, be here. Ask your questions. We're going to have a guest. We need you to ask questions. Okay? It's going to be great stuff. Join up.
Jason Crawford said a lot of Ronell Lewis, just a little taller. Do you remember where Ronell Lewis played, Jay?
In pro?
College. I mean, in high school.
Dewar. 8-man. Didn't he play 8-man?
8-man, I think it was Dewar.
I thought it was 8-man. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Dewar, though. Yeah, there it is. Sooner fan says Dewar.
This high school football is getting ready to ramp up, man. It's going to be different in high school with all the transfers. Can't even keep track.
Oh, absolutely, Jay. Absolutely. Did Ronell Lewis pan out as a Sooner? Did he exceed or kind of hover underneath expectations?
I thought he was pretty good. He was just not on great teams, I don't think.
Yeah.
Hey, let me bring up something as far as OU this coming year, okay? And Braden brings up Jaden Gibson not getting much talk about the season. I think he's going to use that and fuel his fire. But who do you think? I already got the guy I'm thinking from last year's team that makes the biggest improvement to this year. I already got a guy that I'm going to go and throw his name out there, and I think it's going to be Gavin Sawchuk. I think Gavin Sawchuk has a breakout season. I really do. I think he's primed for it. I think it's his time. I think he's the guy at RB1. I think he is a tremendous season. He's my guy to watch for, kind of breakout guy that he's had good year last year, but I think this year it takes it to the next level. Who's the guy, in your opinion, that maybe had a good year, an okay year last year, but this year he's going to be a big part of the team?
A lot of people saying Peyton.
People have said Peyton Bowen.
A lot of people saying Peyton Bowen. I can't argue that. I'm going to go a guy on offense and defense just for the heck of it here. I think on offense is a guy who could really, really, really make a big difference if given the opportunity. I know I think it was Braden mentioned Jaden Gibson, but I think Brennan Thompson is a guy that if he gets the chance, he's going to make enormous plays. On the defensive side, I'm going to go a little bit of a sleeper here and say Kobe McKenzie.
Yeah, I mean, that's a name. He keeps getting better, I think. Jackson says Halton. A lot of people like Halton.
I like R. Mason, Gray God. I like that.
Deshaun or PJ, those are both good. Kip. I mean, all these are great, and that's why I think this question's great, is because there's a lot of guys that I think are primed to take that next step. Who will it be? That's the thing. Who will that guy be? I'm seeing some great names.
I think you're a year early on Kip Lewis, Jackson. I think draft talks we're still a couple years away.
I think the only
Stop.
thing holding Kip back is his size.
Hey, FanStop, and we just mentioned FanStop again. Check them out at thefanstop.com. You won't be disappointed in what you get sent to your doorstep if you sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club. It's unbelievable. Great opportunity. Check out the FanStop. They're also the one that's giving us the chance to give these tickets away. So appreciate it. And just great guy. Great people at the FanStop. Jay,
top
the
three
top
running
three running backs.
I'm going to go Gavin Sawchuk, Caleb Hicks, and I'm going to go Taylor Tatum.
Yeah.
The more I think as the season gets closer, I think Tatum could get that third. Greg got a great mind think like.
Where does that leave Samuel Franklin, a guy that was really, really good?
He'll get playing time. I mean, I think he'll play some. But if you want to say top three, in my opinion, that's the top three. It's hard for me to not put a 5-star running back in my top three at Oklahoma right now, right?
Yeah, I mean, I see that. I like Taylor Tatum. I like that he's 205 already. He's at 205 pounds. Again, I don't know if we can even answer that question that FanStop asked yet until we see how much two-back set this team's going to play, because that changes things. If Seth Luttrell comes out schematically, scheme-wise, and we see a lot of two-back sets, then you're looking at 4 guys possibly in every game. That is a big difference.
Scout team right, Jimmy says.
I think he's more than a scout team running back, Jimmy.
Braden says Kennick needs to step up. And Dalpost is not giving up on Barnes. Here's my thing with this, okay? I'm not giving up on Barnes either. I'm not, but I will say this. Unfortunately, I think the injury that he had may be tough to pass these other guys with. That's just from an outsider that's not in practices and can't see how it's going. I mean, obviously, last year trying to get back, it didn't happen, right? And I think that injury, it could be tough when you got guys that are really, really good players right there with you. That's the thing. Have a good night at work, Chester.
Hey, yeah, thanks for watching, Chester. Gary says y'all forgot about Barnes. I have not forgotten about Barnes. I know a lot of people have. Jay, can you give me a guy, or Sergioholics, can you guys give me a guy who had a really good freshman performance, because Javonte Barnes did.
I already got a name.
Wait. Then followed it up with maybe some kind of weird injury and either was done, never saw him or heard much of him again, or came back and actually was elite.
Marcus Major.
That's a good example.
To me, that's
Are there any that have gone through that? And then I'll give you one. I think Rodney Anderson.
Yeah, but Rodney Anderson really, I don't think came on till later in his career. I don't remember him at first. He's kind of a late bloomer, I thought.
Jay, I think his sophomore year was phenomenal, wasn't it?
Yeah, but you asked about a freshman year. That's what I'm saying.
Right. He didn't. I thought he got hurt his freshman year. He got hurt several times. Hunter, drop Rodney Anderson's maybe stats for each year if you can. By the way, appreciate Hunter being back. He had a great time. I know watching the Cubs beat the Royals, but appreciate Hunter being back. See if Hunter can drop some of those in there, because I'm curious, Jay, on Rodney Anderson. Is there another guy that stands out, Sergioholics? Yeah, Marcus Major is in Minnesota. Tawi Walker is in Wisconsin.
Teresa, great question tonight. Thank you. Hey, Sergioholics, keep the questions coming. Love it. What do you guys think the run versus pass percent will be for the upcoming season? What was last year? I think this year,
I think it'll probably be 55-45 pass.
See, I kind of think they might possibly run it more than they pass it. I would say 55-45 run, Jeremy. That's what I would say. And I may be totally wrong, obviously.
So Hunter says 1161 in 2017. What year would that have been? All I know is in the Georgia game, Jay, he was absolutely a dog in that game.
Well, there was a lot of games. Do you remember the K-State game where near the last play of the game he scored on?
Oh, it's unbelievable. Hey, Ramondre Stevenson is another guy that man was really, really good. That was his junior year. They're saying, hey, I got to go back to the Canick talk, and I've probably been higher on Canick than anybody. Okay, and I'm going to go out and say this again. If he can't see the field, if he doesn't play much, or if he looks bad, I'm still saying this. I don't know if he's in the right position.
We'll see. We'll find out. It's almost too late. It's 3 years in.
Is he a guy that can get to edge next year? I mean, I don't know.
Bobby thinks Megwa. This would be very interesting because you want to talk about a guy under the radar. Would be Megwa.
Jay, if 10 guys get off the bus on their first road game, and you said, man, which guy would you want? Just looking at him, Meg was the dude. He looks the part.
He looks good, but we'll see how much playing time he gets. You know what it reminds me of? Do you remember? It would have been 99, I guess, 2000. But do you remember when nobody was talking about Quentin Griffin? And I remember on the radio, one of the insiders that had a weekly time on the radio with the radio guys was saying how this little Quentin Griffin, he's doing unbelievable in practice, scrimmages. And everyone was like, that guy, I mean, short, man, what a career. I mean, you think about a guy that came out of nowhere. Quentin Griffin came out of nowhere to have the career he had.
Yeah, and Thurman, I agree. I saw the quote.
Yeah,
that's what really caused me to, because everyone forgets about Megwa. The guy's got size. Obviously, he's fought through some things, but it'd be good to see him out there. I wouldn't be shocked. Colin says, what's the greatest individual performance I've seen on the OU field? I'm going to throw a couple of names out. Surgeaholics, drop him in the chat. Yeah, and Hunter, maybe you can drop Megwa's height. I think he's 6'2". 6'2", probably 210. You think that's probably it? Jay, best individual performance. I'll throw a name out there that maybe people – obviously, Joe Mixon, I believe it was against Texas Tech, was phenomenal. Jermaine Gresham had a massive game one year against OSU in a primetime game. Landry Jones against West Virginia was unbelievable individual performance. Jalen Hurts bringing OU back against Baylor. Oh, my goodness. But there's one that a lot of people don't remember is Brandon Daniels. Brandon Daniels had a phenomenal individual performance.
Here's what I'll say. I got two names for you. One I don't think can be beat. Antonio Perkins, punt returns, 3 in one game. Are you kidding me? That individually was the best performance I think I've seen. That never happens. He did it. Unbelievable performance. So I think Antonio Perkins has to be on the list. The other one I would say would be not an Oklahoma guy. You see P right here. But how about Tavon Austin from West Virginia? I mean, unfortunately, for OU fans, that stings. But, wow, Tavon Austin absolutely torched Oklahoma. It was all over SportsCenter. People still talk about the Tavon Austin game. That performance was unbelievable, too.
Robert.
When you talk about one guy, those are two names that just kind of jump to the top of my head.
Robert's right. Kenneth Murray, the 28 tackles against Army. And wasn't that the really close game against Army? Like, we needed every one of those tackles OU did. Jay, who's the guest Thursday?
Recruit route, Brian Bedford. We've had him on before. He has been really kind of behind in the news with all this stuff. He is going to break it all down in a way that we can all understand it, maybe look forward at what's next for the NIL and everything.
The settlement
stuff.
We're going
to talk about all of it. What's that?
Yeah, the settlement stuff. There's just a lot, man.
Scholarships is a big deal. We're going to talk a lot about the scholarships, all of it. So, yeah.
Hey, Kenneth Murray was – I don't know that he was underrated, Jackson, because a lot of people talked about him all the time. He was drafted but maybe underappreciated. I could for sure see, because a lot of guys thought he overran a lot of plays. They were on him. Someone earlier mentioned that BV mentioned that one of the most violent players he's ever coached was Ronell Lewis. I would say Brandon Everidge, Ronell Lewis, Who else would be on there as violent? And I think OU's got a guy this year, Jay, that might fit that category, and people don't really talk about enough, and it's RSJ. Robert Spears Jennings can bring it on the back on the backside of that defense.
He can flat out hit. Bobby, Robbie says he was a first-round pick. What are we talking about? Eric Stryker?
Samaj? No, I think they're talking about Kenneth Murray, how they was underrated. I don't think he was underrated. I didn't say I disagreed with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how he's underrated, Kenneth Murray.
Mark has a huge softball hot take. An All-American catcher might be transferring to OU. Who you got, Mark?
Well, is it
the Florida State girl?
Florida State infield? Florida State?
Can't think That's the one that I would think. Let's see if Mark is thinking the same thing.
Scott Case is a great name, Tone Loke. Lewis Carter this year is that guy for Bobby.
I could see Lewis Carter doing that as well, yeah. Boganowski, Reggie Powers in the future.
Yeah, Boganowski, really good.
Oh, wow. Reese Atwood, Mark says.
That would be a shocker.
Now, Edenfield or whatever from Florida State, I thought OU might be able to get her. But Reese Atwood, huh? Great bat. That would be unbelievable. Tom Wart, Robert. This was Jason's number 21. This was Jason's favorite player. Jason loved some Tom Wart.
I did like Tom Wart.
I don't think he panned out, Jay.
Boz, that's obviously the Boz.
When Tom Wart came to OU, Jay, BV was just mind blown about that dude. I don't think he hit his peak. I don't think he lived up to the expectations.
Bookie
was definitely not a hard hitter, Chief. Bookie was not a hard hitter.
Yeah, I don't remember Tom Wart playing that much, to be honest.
He was a starter, Jay.
I don't think he
started every game, Jay.
I don't think he did.
Oh, please, Jay. Him and Ryan Reynolds, were they together?
No, I don't think so. Austin
Box. Yes.
R.I.P. Yes. Great player, Austin Box. He was unbelievable high school player, too. Have you ever watched him?
At Enid, he was unbelievable at Enid.
Colin says, take the OU hats off for this. And I don't have my OU hat on because I don't.
Hey, I'll take mine off, and I'm going to give an answer.
On a scale of 1 to what you comes 11, Brent Reynolds bring national title to OU.
5 out of 10. It's right in the middle. I'm going to straddle the fence like I don't do very much. I think it's right in the middle. I think to win a national title, OU won one in 2000. In 99, they had a lot of pieces. They lost some close games, which OU has done in 2023. But I'm going to say this, and I don't take it the wrong way, Jay, and I don't want a lot of people to take it the wrong way, but there is some luck involved in winning a natty.
Well, here's
you got to have things go your way.
Well, and this is what I was going to say. It was hard to win a natty before. It's even harder to win them now. I think 12-team playoff is going to be so difficult. I just really do. I think it's going to be very difficult to go through the SEC schedule. And then also, oh, by the way, go win 3 or 4 more games, whatever it is, to win a national championship. It will be tough. Now, Brent Venables, can he do it? I 100% agree. I do think he can do it. And Jay, I would put it about 5 or 6 right now.
Think about the teams in the past that have won it. Some of them, I can think of a couple where they just kind of ran the table. Most teams, though, there was a close game with some kind of magical play. But I will say that when you have veteran players, you tend to make some more of those plays. That's good for OU on defense. On offense, they don't have really a lot of veterans on the line at quarterback. I'm trying to think quarterback-wise, the last young guy, you got Trevor Lawrence is one that comes to mind. A guy that made a lot of big plays. He was just different. Dante Jones was unbelievable. Jones.
Real quick. You bring up luck, which I do think luck, Sooner Magic, that all has something to do with it. But you know what I'll say it's been missing from Oklahoma for a long time, and it's part of the reason they lose games that they shouldn't lose. And this might be a topic for another day, but Oklahoma does not have what it used to have in the 80s with teams, and it's kind of what I think a lot of teams that go up against Alabama have, Jeremy. They feel like they have to play a perfect game to beat Alabama. And OU used to have that swagger where you went into Norman and you felt like if you make one mistake, game's over. Like you had to play a perfect game. OU has not had, I still don't think OU's there yet. And I think that a lot of that starts with defense. I think when you look at the teams that have had that swagger, it's all defense led, in my opinion. OU's had so many good offenses, but a lot of times those offenses, the defenses were leaking, and you could just go right through that defense, right down the field. And it was not a scary thing for teams to walk into Norman if they knew they could score on you every time they got the ball. So I think defensively they're headed the right direction, and they got to get that back where I don't want to use the term fear, but it's a almost like you go into a game thinking, man, we're going to have to score some because this team, the defense is just so good. And so I think they're on the right track that with Brent Venables, but you got to keep trending, man. You got to keep trending. Defense travels, Gary.
Yeah, and Ron says OU doesn't have the overall talent they once had. I don't know what once had means. It's
Talent
different than
swagger, correct? Well, I mean, that to me is a term that we should talk about one live. Is swagger, intimidation, and championships is part of it too, obviously. But
yeah.
And it's not just one. I think you have to have multiple championships to have that swagger, and that's what you had in the early times. I mean, and that's what Georgia. Oh, Georgia hasn't had it. Georgia's only got one, right? That's what Alabama's had.
Starts at the top, Jay. Head coach brings a swagger. I do know this. BV has tons more swagger than a Lincoln Riley had. That's a good way to end this live tonight. But, hey, couple of things. First, thank you so much for all you guys and gals that come on here every night. We really appreciate you. Big shout out to the Fan Stop who are doing great things. TheFanstop.com. Go check them out and look at the 2 packages they have for the Shirt of the Month Club. Use code SURGE for 10% off for your first 3 months. Again, August 16th, we reveal who the winner is for the OU Houston ticket giveaway, courtesy of the Fan Stop. Thanks so much, everybody. We can't wait to see you all tomorrow night. Boomer.